and then he's telling us when he'll upload it. Then here's the first set 1 through 9 of the articles that we got. We're talking about a few of them. And then here's 10 through 15. And as we start to review these articles, we start to ask some questions on a particular thing. We start to notice a lot of problems, lots of problems. So it's taken us 4 to 5 times to go through these things. I think at the time we were still believers. So we're still going through it. We're trying to work through it, trying to figure out what it is that we can do to get these things fixed up, and what are they thinking about. So now we're getting a lot of them, and here we get a request for us to send in the money. We're not even close to being done. Let's go backwards to that, and then we'll go back up. The status report, the article, some of the revisions. Here we send some of the comments. I'll open that up. And we're kind of talking through some of the articles and then giving them more research, because what we saw in the article clearly pointed out that the article made no sense to the subject matter. They hadn't read what we had already sent them, obviously, and now we're sending them some more information to help them to get this right. Here's some of our review of this author questionnaire, which should have been the easiest article for them to do. As you can see, there are huge chunks of information in the beginning that they didn't get right. As a matter of fact, after a while, since we had a massive amount of articles, we'd get through one page of it and say, this is absolutely no good. It's just not going to work. It's obvious they haven't done their research, and they hadn't used the research that we had already given them. And we're going to go up. And this is, I'm talking about, he's approaching the 2-week deadline. And here he's telling us they need us to provide them with more source materials, because some of it was limited or mostly unsatisfactory, or things of that nature. But these are articles that they sent us, and they're telling us they didn't have enough information to do it. They didn't send us this request before they wrote the article and sent it to us. They sent us this request after they wrote the article and sent it to us. Because as you recall, below this, they're already asking for us to release the money, and now you're admitting you haven't done a good job on the research. So this is us just basically telling them, first of all, we want to wear this 2-week policy. Then, as we're telling them, we're continuing to go through the critiques. It's just taken a long time because of the poor work that they have done. He's telling us the profile, it's on their information. So I guess you got to go to their thing. It's something you probably should put. I mean, they gave me a questionnaire. Just put it in the questionnaire to let us know that information, if that indeed was the case. So this is our response back to them, asking them about the policy, also telling them about our policy of not paying for work that is not done. on this part. He's telling us that he must have poorly communicated in his previous message, and he apologizes. Also points to well taken regarding the release of the escrow, and as our request upon completion of the revisions and acceptance, we will release the money. Here are some more reviews. Some more reviews. Actually, let me open up one of these. Let's take a look at what these look like. Once again, big amounts of information that are just no good. And again, after one page of it, really, as you can see, what's the point? All the pieces that you see in yellow are just big pieces of crap. And you would see that in each one of these documents. Once again, we're providing them with more reference material, doing a lot of work to get them the information. And this is overall, all of the articles. Then at this point, we're asking for an update. They are asking us about the articles. They were given a lot to redo. We haven't received anything back from them on the ones that they were asked to redo, right? And then we get this message, which it's all of the articles. Now we're in June, and we're asking them for an update. And the next day, it's been 2 days since we sent them that. And then basically I'm telling them, no harm, no foul, $200 for your time and effort, and we can both move on. At that time, I go to check to send Elance a message about the job. And when I go do that, that's where I find out that Elance has already released the money. And they released the money on May 6th. The day after he asked this question, he requests for the money to be released. We received no email, no update, no heads up that this was happening. So as you can see, we continue thinking that they're working on what they have. And before we start to do more research, we want to see that, hey, this thing is going to work. And that's when we find out the money is released, and that sets off the chain reaction of everything that's going on here. And this is their proposed solution. All right? Their proposed solution is to complete the first 10 article revisions that we sent them that they didn't complete. And then they asked for their money and got their money. But now, for the 700, they're going to complete these 10, which they were supposed to already have done, and have done of 40 other ones as well. And so that's where we're at with Elance and this company.